So in this video presentation, I'm going to teach you how to use a different resource in order to create your APA citations. This is a resource that you will become more and more familiar with as you pursue your education, especially if you pursue your bachelor's degree or go on to pursue your master's degree. Specifically, if we look at the Word document that I have up, it says, in this paper, I'm going to teach you how to cite an electronic source such as a YouTube video. First, I want to write about something that I learned in a YouTube video or lecture in my paper. If I'm going to say it in my own words, then I do not need to add quotes or a citation in my sentence. Instead, I can add it to the end of the sentence. For example, I may want to say that flash drives are really important because they allow a person to back up their important information on their computer. Now, that is something that I paraphrased from a YouTube video. So let's look for that YouTube video. Here's my YouTube video. Now, I want to be able to put the information about this YouTube video into my paper to show that this is where I got my information. One thing that stands out right away is that the author's name is Mark Coleman. The title of this YouTube video is Microsoft Word 2010, Saving a Document to a Flash Drive. And third, it was published on June 25th, 2012. Now, I need to know how to put that information into my paper in the appropriate format. In order to do this, let's look at the OWL Purdue Writing Lab. Here's our writing lab. Over on the left-hand side, we have all the different APA citation formats. And the very top here, in the APA Formatting and Style Guide, there are two different options about in-text citation. Let's click on the basics. This will explain how to put a citation in the middle of our paragraph. If I scroll down, it's giving me all the information that I need. Now that you have a better understanding of the basics, if you were to go back and read this through thoroughly in the link that's provided underneath this video, go on and click Author and Authors. This explains how to put in a citation depending on the kind of information that you have. But let's scroll down and see if we find something that fits with YouTube videos. So right here it says electronic sources. So we can say, for example, the author's name, the year, and then say explained ... But this only occurs when you need to cite a quote. If you want to put something at the end of your sentence, it says that you can actually use the same format as a book or any other sort of article. So we scroll back up here, it says citing an author or authors. That'll give us our information. Now, at the very end of the paragraph, we can just put the author's last name and the year that it was published. So let's go back to our Word document. At the end of my sentence, right in between my last word and my period, I'm going to hit a space bar, a parentheses, and the last name of the author, which is Coleman, and the year that it was published, which was 2012. And then add another parenthesis, and now I'm done. Because I paraphrased or I did not use a direct quote, I can just put that at the end of the sentence. You will want to add the citations in your paper right away so that you do not forget to go back and add them later. When you are using a direct quote or it's word for word what a person said from a presentation or video, you can simply just cite the information in the sentence without having to add a citation at the end of the sentence. For example, blank states that if the power goes out or the machine crashes, you will lose what is in memory. Now I need to put in the author's name. Once again, it's Coleman, parenthesis, this time 2012. Now remember, when you cite a person in the actual sentence, you do not need to put their last name in the parentheses, just the year. And again, you can find that information by clicking on the Purdue OWL website. So for example, you can see up here, research by Wegner and Petty, 1994. The authors' names are outside of the parentheses because it's in the middle of the sentence. But if it were at the end, it would just say Wegner and Petty. 1994 in parentheses. All right, let's go back here, because now that, let's say, our post is complete, we need to add the complete references. And these will tell the reader how to find the exact location of the YouTube video. In order to know how to do this, let's go back and look at the Purdue OWL APA website. In this, let's look at the reference list. And if we scroll down, we can say electronic sources. Electronic source would be a YouTube video. If we click on that, it'll bring up all the different explanations on how to cite it at the end. But if I keep scrolling down to the very bottom, I can see blog, weblog, and video blog post. Well, YouTube video is considered a video blog post. If I know the author, I'll go with this first example up top. If I don't know the author, I'll go with the second example below. The first thing it has is the author's name, followed by the date, followed by the title of the video. So if we go back to our page, it's going to say the author's name, and this time we're going to add that first initial, which would be M for Mark Coleman. Then we're going to add the date that it was published, which was 2012, July 25, then add a period. After this, we want to add the title of our video. If we go back to the YouTube screen, we can see that the title is Microsoft Word 2010, Saving a Document to a Flash Drive. Microsoft Word 2010, Saving a Document to a Flash Drive. Now, if I go back and reference what I need to do back on the OWL website and I compare what I've done so far, there's something that stands out. First of all, I noticed that not all the letters in the title are capitalized, just the first letter in each of the parts. So I need to go back to my title and uncapitalize anything that is not a proper noun. So Microsoft Word would remain capitalized because it's the name of the company. It's a proper noun. Now, the next thing we need to do, according to the Purdue OWL APA guidelines, is talk about what this is. And this is not a web blog comment, it's a video file. And then I need to say where I retrieved it from, which means the web address. So let me go back and add that. So in a bracket, I will say video file, bracket, period, retrieved from, and now I need to grab the web address. If we go back to YouTube and you click on share, you'll see a web address that is much shorter than the web address found at the very top of your screen. Grab the shorter address, and you can do that by right-clicking with your mouse, clicking copy, and then going back to your document, right-clicking with your mouse, and hitting paste. Now your web address is pasted directly into your document, and you don't have to retype everything letter for letter. Now let's compare this document, my reference, to the reference back on the Purdue OWL, because you want to spend a lot of time comparing things back and forth in order to make sure you have everything precisely accurate. This is a skill that's going to come in handy, especially as you enter into the healthcare field where everything has to be accurate. It looks like, so far, the name and the last names are the same. The retrieval dates look the same. The way that the titles are written look the same. Video file is in brackets with a period afterwards. The second word is lowercase. Retrieved from, and then we have our address with no period at the end. But something that does look different is that the bottom area below the title is indented. So let's do that on our Word document. How you do this is you go up to the ruler at the very top. In this ruler are two arrows that are pointing towards each other and a rectangle below that. Now we're going to want to play with these to change the indent preference on our page. First we have to select or highlight our reference section. If we move the top box, it will move the top letters in, but we don't want to do that because we want to have the other side go in. So we're going to click the middle one, and it's just going to drag one half of it. It's going to leave the top arrow where it was. Now we're going to drag it in 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, and as you can see, that indented it. Okay, so that is a ½ inch indented. The number 1 at the very top means a full inch. In APA Citing, you will want to indent your references 1/2 an inch. From this point forward, you will be wanting to use these citation formats in all of your discussion posts. That means that I should see citations in your actual words that you type in your paragraphs, as well as a reference section afterwards, telling me where you found your information. If you have any other questions, feel free to access the Writing Center here on campus or email me with any questions that you have.